Hi everyone, this is Ronnie from YouTube with another video about health and a raw vegan diet, raw veganism, fruitarianism. That's the kind of stuff I mostly speak about on this channel. And today we're talking about Ted Carr no longer being a raw vegan or fruitarian. So Ted Carr is followed by a lot of people. He has the Instagram page at Fruitarian, and he started the Canada Fruit Fest. So he's known by a lot of people in the fruitarian and raw vegan movement. And recently, he came out to say that he's no longer going to eat 100% raw diet, and he's including more cooked food in his diet. And so I'm going to make a little bit of a response video to that. So um, Ted is a friend of mine going back quite a number of years. I met him in Woodstock Fruit Festival, and been in touch with him for many years. He's been over at the UK Fruit Fest a lot, and yeah, have a lot of good times with him. Um, I like him a lot as a person. I think he's really a force for good in the world and everything, and a lot of the stuff he does is really good. Works really hard at what he's doing. So, but the announcement was not really much of a surprise to me because he mentioned this to me a while back. He said that he was thinking of doing this a while ago. And Ted's been on a raw diet about 10 years, so he's been really into this a long time. He's been doing it more consistently than most people. Um, and he didn't have any health issues, any problems. Uh, he wasn't suffering from any defects, issues, illnesses, conditions, nothing. He's quite open about that. And he was able to perform at a high level on a fruit diet with marathon, triathlons and all sorts of things, and also built his strength and built his body up in a fruit diet. So no issues there. He personally chose that he wanted to start experimenting with how far could he go with bodybuilding, with building his physique, and he wanted to get really big. And I think that in his mindset, the only way to do that is to overeat, and it's quite hard to overeat on just fruit. It's possible, but it's fairly hard. And I'm assuming that he wanted to overeat on carbohydrates rather than fat because you can easily overeat on fat on a raw diet, but you're not going to feel as good. So he was mentioning this to me a while back. It was clear that he was really getting into the aesthetics thing. And I was saying to him at the time, well, I don't think you remember what it feels like to be on a cooked food diet, and you might lose a bit of energy, you might not want to exercise, and so on. But he said he didn't think that would be a problem, and I also said like it's really difficult to come off it if you decide then to come off and go back to raw. But anyway, he I guess he's made that choice now, and he's eating some whole foods. Looks like it's kind of a selection. He put out a selection of things he was choosing to eat, and he's experimenting with that. So who knows how it'll go. I personally suspect that anyone truly who was raw, who then goes back to a cooked diet, will not be. If you have the awareness, I forget that some people do not have the level of awareness of their body. Everyone thinks they know their body. Everyone likes to pretend they know their body, they know themselves. Very few people have done that work to develop that connection with their body and have that's why people misdiagnose themselves all the time, think they've got all these problems they don't have. That's why it's a struggle to coach people to better health, because a lot of people think they've got problems that don't exist. A lot of people think they are doing a diet that they are not doing. This is a big problem in the raw vegan movement, where people say they were raw and they were not. Well, Ted's someone who legitimately was raw for 10 years. I imagine he's going to feel differences, and whether that'll make him go back to raw, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see But I don't even know. My question is, I don't know enough about bodybuilding. I don't really understand the philosophy of I need to gain weight in order to build muscle, or I need to overeat to build muscle. I guess that's the philosophy of bodybuilding, but it just seems like a lot of people that get into that, what they're really doing is they just get heavier with more fat. So if you look at conventional bodybuilders, they drink like big cartons of milk and eat loads of eggs, and it's just all about getting fat, you know. And then they cut all that fat. It just seems like a waste of time. Why put on all that weight just to lose it all again? So I'm not sure if I understand. I think building muscle is something that takes a long, long time. I don't think there's any shortcuts to it. And it just takes years and years and years, maybe up to a decade, to get that really big muscular, look. But a lot of the guys that are big and muscular have a lot of fat as well. So I don't know how it all works. Ted's had a really good physique for a long time, so I'm not sure why he's so keen to kind of accelerate the process, but that's where he is. That's what he wants to do. He's changed the Canada Fruit Fest to Canada Vegan Fest. I don't know if that means it'll be a cooked food event next year, maybe. I don't know. And I don't know if he's going more into promoting veganism rather than raw veganism. He did make a video where he said he felt he'd spent so much time trying to convince people to go raw. And I don't know if he really did. I mean, a lot of his videos are not about raw food. A lot of his talks at the fruit festivals weren't about raw food. He's had a lot of talks that weren't about going raw, and he was convincing people to go raw. But I don't know. I mean, I think that, for example, what I'm learning about having a channel like this where I speak about the raw vegan diet is a lot of you guys are already interested in it and you already know about it and you're already trying it out. So a lot of people comment on my videos with their own opinions because you all have your own experience with it already, but you didn't come into the raw vegan diet because you wanted to do a raw vegan diet. You came into this because of something you were looking to change, and that's what made you start to investigate diet and make changes and experiment. And I think that what we all need to do is reach out to more people that are on that journey, rather than reach out to people who are already on the journey of the raw vegan diet. So I think that he would have had more impact if he had maybe focused on talking about what he'd solved with the raw vegan diet and reaching out to that community. And I know that one of his big things was acne, and he solved acne issues and with that. So I think there's hundreds of thousands of people who are looking for help with their acne, especially kids obviously, so he could probably have helped with that a lot. But anyway, that was just some thoughts. I mean, I do think that people who had influencers in the raw vegan movement, they start to think, oh, this is kind of limited, so I'll just become a vegan influencer, and that's not really the best thing for you to do, in my opinion, because you're just then becoming a small fish in a massive pond of vegan influencers, just random. And the vegan community is not the same as the raw vegan community at all. It's a lot of it's about animal activism and all that stuff, and whatever political things and all sorts. What you really want to reach out to if you're starting to be an influencer is what are the problems that you solved by going raw vegan? What was it that got you down the path to going raw vegan? And reach out to those people and show them that this is the solution. That's what my suggestion would be to everyone who's looking to maybe do videos or whatever. But anyway, like, I don't know. I don't have any negative comments or whatever on what Ted's doing. It'll be interesting to see what's happening with him. But one thing I know is human beings are basically all the same. Cooked food is addictive and virtually impossible to give up. There's a few of us that have been able to give it up. but virtually impossible for the vast majority of people, because we've got 8 billion people on the planet and very few people have given it up. So it's very hard to give up. That's the main reason that people don't go raw or don't stick to raw. That's the absolute main reason. Anyone who tells you it's about deficiencies and about illnesses that pop up when you go raw and lack of EPA, DHA, it's nothing to do with that. People want to go back and eat cooked food. And they try it out and they cannot stop eating it. That's what happens. It is addictive. It's meant to be addictive, you know. So that's the way it all works. So he will struggle to get off cooked food if he tries. It might take him a while, and who knows? It just seems like this will be the start of maybe him going back to a fully vegan diet. Potentially, that's what a lot of people do. Because when you open up to that, you want to try everything out again. And what was that like? I remember what that was like, and you know. So we'll see how it goes for him. I've not been in touch with him for a while. I think he's really busy right now. So, but anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are below. I think we can clearly see that this isn't an example of someone that's moved away from the diet for health reasons, or they're struggling, but they just made a decision to try and do something different to get a different impact on their body. And I guess we'll see how that all goes. But personally, I would say to everyone, like, don't put your reason for going raw based on someone else doing it. You know, it should always be about you and your own personal journey. If you need X person to be raw for you to stay raw, then that's really the wrong thing. So develop your own reason, your own reasons why, so that when the people that got you into it or inspired you, when they change, that you don't change, you just stay the same, and realize that people change for a whole number of reasons. It doesn't mean it's a negative thing. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to keep on watching this channel, you can subscribe below. Leave a comment, let me know what's happening with you and what you thought about the video. If you'd like to learn more about the Fruit Festival in the UK next year, fruitfest.co.uk/registration. Join our announcement list. We'll be making some announcements fairly soon. We've already got approximately half of the tickets have already been taken. So if you're interested in getting a ticket, you'd be better off jumping in early, because we're probably going to sell out within the next few months. And if you'd like to, you can get a t-shirt or a hoodie at fruitfest.co.uk/shop if you want to support us with that. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.